Welcome back to the channel, guys. Keith at Crypto Bullseye, and you're definitely working me hard with these video requests. And I try and do each and every one that you put forward to me, but I don't get paid for them, guys. I do it for the love. I do it for the community. So we're going to do a deep dive into Polkadot in this video. What do I think is going to happen in the short term? Good choice, by the way, because it's at a key level now that I'm interested in. But there's a few key steps that I need to happen before I take Polkadot. One thing to think of, guys, this video was recorded yesterday. So by the time we watch this, it's going to be about a day out of date. Hopefully you'll get a better entry by then. But on a higher time frame, the thesis is still the same. So step by step, this is what I'm expecting to happen on Polkadot. And this is what areas I'm interested in. This is where I think it's going to go. Okay, so this is one from our community members, Ideal Clone. He's asked for a deep dive in Polkadot. Tell me, mate, is this going to be a deep dive enough? Because I'm going real into Polkadot in this video. So we'll start off. What is the price? Current price is $4.57. We're in a downtrend on Polkadot. Is it a good time to buy? We don't know yet by just looking at this data, but we're going to build on weight on top of our thesis to find out exactly whether it's undervalued, whether it's overvalued, what needs to happen to really show that the bulls have regained momentum. Have they got momentum now? No, they haven't, guys. We're in downtrend. So the first thing is buy opportunity. This is max data saying there's a 70% buy opportunity and there's 59% buy-in. It's also got news and data down here saying Polkadot eyes relief rally as key price levels face test. Experts are calling Polkadot wildly undervalued. So the experts are calling it undervalued, but are we calling it undervalued? We'll do our own analysis and decide ourselves. So that's what it's saying at the moment. What we'll do is we'll jump into the time frame and we're going to delve into the weekly. You asked for a deep dive, mate. You're getting a deep dive. This is the weekly time frame. What does it look like when you look at the weekly? Doesn't look too bad, guys. There's the all-time high all the way up here, $55. Where is it currently trading at now? $4.56. Does it mean that we're going to put in a new bull market high, continue higher and continue higher, do a 50, 60, 70x? Probably not, guys, but that's not what we're about on this channel. It's about probability. So what we're looking at is this range here. What we're going to do is we're going to measure this range because the bigger the range, the longer it holds. If it hasn't broken to the downside in such a long period of time and it hasn't broken to the upside in such a long period of time, what means it's going to happen in the next day, the 2 days or 3 days afterwards? So we've been in this range now, 146 bars. So with this being the weekly chart, guys, 146 bars is actually 146 weeks. So 146 weeks is actually 1,022 days. 1,022 days in this range. Once we get an alt season, once we get a bull market, that's when you can start breaking out of the range and start projecting highs. Does it mean it'll put in new highs? We don't know, guys. So all we can do is work with what the market gives us, and what the market's given us at the moment is a couple of things. It's given us on the weekly time frame oversold stochastic RSI. Now, when we look at what happens before previously, when you've got an oversold RSI, you get a surge in price action. You get a surge in price action. So we've got a surge in price action. We've got a 1,000-day range. What is the size of the range? That's the next important thing. From where price is now to the top of the range. Remember, guys, we say about the candle close and the candle wick. Candle wick has got a less probability of being hit. Candle close has got a higher probability of being wick. You can front run the wick by using the close, is what I'm saying. 149% to the upside, just to the top of the range. So that's 1.5x on DOT. If you'd invested, not financial advice, this is just hypothetical scenarios, guys. I teach risk management on this channel, and this is something that I'm looking at taking myself. So from the bottom of this range here, does it look like a good buy? There's a couple of things that we can do. Well, first thing that I want to do before we get into that is I want to zoom into a smaller time frame, because when I zoom into a smaller time frame, I can get indications of whether now is a good entry or whether there potentially could be better entries to come. So if I just tidy this up a little bit. It's all about adding probabilities, guys. From an investment perspective, you need to look in the higher time frame and then move down into the smaller time frames. The smaller time frames are your entry time frames. The higher time frames are your thesis. So we know that this is at the bottom of the range. We know it's 1.5% to the top of the range. If you'd invested $100 at the bottom of the range, and you took out your $100 at the top of the range, guess what, guys? You'd still have a bag of Polkadot left in to ride the bull market. And if it went wrong, you've took your investment out. So these ranges can be high probability moves, guys. You've got a high probability of testing this. Now, Polkadot, from its previous all-time high, it's 38.2% retracement, which is a conservative area for something to pull back, is all the way at $23. So once we've broken out of this range, and we're talking the weekly time frame, we're not talking about breaking out of the range yet. Once you've broken out the range, there's little resistance all the way up to that $23 mark. How do we know that? Because of this here. Because there was a lack of build-up of price action there, that means there's no resistance levels there because traders don't know where to put the stop losses, buy orders, sell orders. Because there hasn't been a build-up of price action, people can't look to see that there's been a build-up of price action. So what you get is you get weak sell orders at higher levels and higher levels. When they're not on a horizontal, space, i.e. the same price, you don't get that sell wall and the buy orders eat through. So when you get an acceleration to the downside, you get an acceleration to the upside. So that's in the long term, guys. That's when you get alt season. You'll get a breakout there, little resistance to 38.2. But from where we are now, from where price action is now, that is still a move of 130% from where we are now. Not from the bottom of the range, from where we are now. So the next thing we're going to do, we know we've got an oversold here. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the daily next. This is a shorter time frame. So you can see that we're chopping now on the daily. And remember, the 200 moving average is your indicator whether you're bullish or whether you're bearish. And this is going to be our next resistance point, is the 200 moving average. That's sat at $5.64. So that's where we need to break and close. And once we break and close above that, we need to take out this previous high, lower high, $6.37. That's indicating a trend reversal. Then you start moving up, moving up, and moving up. If you're trading, protecting yourself underneath the higher lows, trailing your stop losses. When the trend reverses, you're reversed in profit. So that's one way that you can do it, guys. But it does look good from now on the daily. We just need to get above this $5.66. But we're at the bottom of the range. The range is held for over 1,000 days. So what that allows to do is gives us a protection zone. So if you're putting your risk to reward tool on, remember, risk to reward. Remember, look after the risk and the reward will look after itself. So there's a couple of scenarios here. If you took a trade here, just as a hypothetical scenario, all the way to the top of here, where's your risk? Below here. That's giving you a 4.64 risk to reward. Why is your stop loss there, guys? This has been 1,000 days. Hasn't broken to the downside and hit this level in over 1,000 days. So if it does hit this level in over 1,000 days, guess what? This is what you want to happen, guys. You want to be stopped out here and you don't want to be riding it all the way down here. Because if that did happen and you do lose 2 or 3% or 4% or wherever it is of the capital that you're putting in there, guess what? That entry can be at much lower levels, giving you bigger gains. So you might have lost 3%, but the market goes down 30%. That means that you can get it in 30% lower and live to fight another day. So that's one way you can protect yourself. Right, I'm going to delve even further now. I'm going to delve even further into the 4-hour to look for actual entries and then look for signs and signals as to what I would need to happen next before I wanted to enter this market. So you've got 200 4-hour moving average. So this represents the 4-hour chart. So this is a 4-hour moving average. Doesn't carry as much weight as the daily. However, it's going to be a strong indication. Once we break that, then momentum's going to change on the 4-hour, and that's going to front run the daily. So that level is currently sat at $5.07. That means $5 is going to be a big level to start overcome. Have we got any divergences? Let's have a look. Not really. But I mean, what it is, guys, if you can get anywhere down here, or if I can get anywhere down here, I'll be really happy. Because of the upside potential and because of the risk, it looks good to me. So that was the deep dive in Polkadot. Let me know if that was enough of a deep dive or whether you'd like to see something else. Let me know if you want me to build in any additional analysis, any on-chain metrics in the future videos, because I want to keep learning and I want to keep self-developing, guys. And the reason why I started this channel was firstly to build a community. I can't talk to anyone about crypto, build a community of like-minded people and hold myself accountable and just have a community of like-minded people where we can chat about the same things. We've got the same interests, we've got the same beliefs. and just have a nice time with the community. We're going to start doing events going forward in the future. I've got lots of interviews lined up with lots of different people. So this channel is going to mold into something different over the coming months. So stay tuned with me and subscribe to the channel and join this Discord group. It's only free. See you in the next one.